Wanted to send this quick video to give you a quick overview of the next project, which is project 3. So in Learning Suite, here is the project, and so it says that we are doing an electrocardiogram, or called an ECG. So if we just go over and Google ECG, you can kind of see this is what we're talking about. So whenever they put these little electrodes on the skin to be able to measure the heart rate. You can kind of see a little illustration here where they have somebody hooked up with all these and you get these voltage signals. So you can kind of see here is the voltage signal that it produces. We're going to make it a little bit simpler and just do a spike up and down, but you can see it's in the tens of 1 to 10 millivolt range. So if we go over to LT Spice, here is our starting circuit. So the first thing that we notice is that we have a variable voltage source here, and because you can't really ground the whole body, you're going to get a floating voltage on the body. Also, you see that we have these two electrodes. So these two electrodes are the wire and the connection of the pad trying to go through the skin to the electrical system of the body. So these resistors here model the electrical system of the body, and these 500 kiloohms model these pads and trying to connect between this external electrode and the internal electrical system of the body. So where is the signal? You see that if I click right, if I run this, if I run this, then you see here is this variable voltage that moves all over the place. So if I look at this voltage here, I can see the voltage with the DC voltage. You can see if you zoom in, I see these little spikes going up and down. And you're going to get a similar voltage here and here. And so if I try and amplify this, I get these big DC voltages. So what I have to do is I have to look at the difference between the two, and then here are the spikes. And so we're taking these spikes that go between 0 and about 9 millivolts, 10 millivolts, and we have to amplify these to produce, and then what is the spec? So we go back to the spec, and so we need a peak-to-peak amplitude of 1 volt. So from the 0 up to this point should be 5 volts at this output point here, measured from these two electrodes. Now, in order for this to be a good design, we have to make sure that the design is independent of any of these resistors. So if these resistors go down by a factor of 2, we want a negligible, or negligible meaning a less than 10% variation in the output over here, using whatever op-amp configuration we want to use. So that is the basic design, and you cannot, don't change this the name of this voltage, the name of this voltage, or the name of this node right here when you do this design.